Finally, we have an extended preview of Star Trek Strange New Worlds Season 2. The second season launched last week with the premiere episode titled The Broken Circle. Now we have a new trailer to keep us intrigued with what is coming up for this season for the gallant crew of the USS Enterprise. From troubles with the Gorn, temporal hijinks in the past and future, to an imposter being among us. See what I did there? This season promised to give us a whole host of different episodes to enjoy, including the Lower Decks crossover, I know. So as always, you know the drill. We'll be breaking down the important aspects of this trailer and what they can tell us about the season going forward. If you're excited for the rest of Strange New Worlds Season 2 via Paramount Plus, then let us know. Hit that subscribe button as I am a Trek Search team will deliver you all the updated info you need. Quick, this is a spoiler warning. We'll be showing off a second season coming soon trailer. As such, it will contain preview of materials coming up. You've been warned. Okay? Hit it. At the beginning of the trailer, we hear Una, played by Rebecca Romaine, saying,
"We must endure hardship to get to the stars. In the mystery and vastness of space, I like to think we might each also find salvation."
This might be a monologue that Una says during her trial from being an Illyrian and having genetic augments and in essence lying to Starfleet about who do not really allow augments to serve. It's nice that we hear this from Una, and we see clips of all the crew who's really becoming a family and also enduring hardships with being able to get to the stars and sort of have that message of Star Trek. We've had hints of Mbenga's trauma during the Klingon Federation War. We know La'an suffered a lot from the Gorn, and now we have Uhura, who fled to Starfleet to escape from the memories of her family dying in a shuttle crash. The speech ends with Una in prison, probably looking at her Starfleet Delta. It's nice that she's holding on to this, representing her hope for still serving in Starfleet and hopefully challenging them for the better in regards to the treatment of augmented individuals. Though, we know from Deep Space Nine, this doesn't get better for a while yet, quite a long time. While the monologue is going on, we see an exciting clip of note, sort of some multicoloured anomaly with streaks of light. We see a beam hitting the anomaly, which later in the trailer looks to be coming from the Enterprise. So we may get the classic channel energy pulse from a defector dish to disrupt an anomaly. Very classical Trek, but it does make sense. The colours of this anomaly remind me of another scene from a previous trailer, that of Uhura, Ortigas and Chapel in the cave with similar lighting surrounding them. Could this be like a Nexus-like anomaly? While the Nexus traps people in happy alternative scenarios, surrounded by loved ones, could this anomaly trap the prey in traumatic memories? Would be a twist of fate, but pretty interesting. This could be the reason why Uhura sees the shuttle crash that claimed her family. This anomaly is making her relive those memories. Whether the anomaly is doing this for good, making sure she can come to terms with what has happened and move past it, or it's doing it for nefarious means, we don't know, but it does look to be trapping people within it.
Trying to save an old friend.
We see Pike in civilian gear with a respirator around his neck. From a promo of episode 2 of Strange New Worlds, we know this is a planet where Pike has to recruit an augmented lawyer to represent Una in her trial. Pike is wearing a respirator because this planet's atmosphere is not breathable for humans, but it's perfectly fine for those with genetic augmentations, aka the locals. The reason Pike isn't wearing it now when he's actually in the lawyer's office is it's considered a breathable atmosphere for Pike, for both his comfort but also Anselman can act without a mask over his face. He says he's trying to save an old friend, which is Una. We know that Una and Pike have worked together since at least 2254, though whether their relationship with one another goes back further, we don't really know. Maybe we will one day. We've just got the preview for the second episode, which arrives this Thursday, so tomorrow when you're watching this. Check out the video which was uploaded yesterday here on Trek Central. Obviously we know that Una will be fine. We see Pike hugging Una, who is back on the Enterprise in uniform, so trial must have gone well. So she will somehow serve in Starfleet again. Whether Starfleet makes an exemption for her, or she gets the augments removed from her system, we don't currently know. But we will find out in the next episode. However, we know this won't change Federation policy on the issue of augments for quite some time.
You knew Una was an Illyrian and you didn't tell Starfleet.
Now this season we also have a return of Captain Batel, who is kind of Pike's friends with benefits, being probably the best way to sum that relationship up. She was seen in season 1 not only with Pike on his ranch, but also arresting Una at the end of the season. Captain Batel is captain of the USS Cayuga, another Constitution-class starship, we presume, though it could be a Somber class, it's not fully confirmed just yet. Probably a Connie. As we've seen in previews of episode 2, when they showed a scene of a trial, Captain Patel will be serving as a prosecutor against Una. I don't know if she's going to serve as a Riker role, such as he did in the Next Generation's core episode of The Measure of a Man, where he was reluctant to prosecute Data, but had to because of his job. Patel could be similar, not wanting to do this, but doing it so Chris does a good job improving Una's case against the Federation. We all see Patel later in the episode kissing Pike. So this is after a trial most likely, I'm guessing, then he was just reluctant of her doing her job. Now, we actually see Uhura in engineering of the Enterprise, and it's nice. Obviously she had a good friendship with Chief Engineer Hemmer of the Enterprise in the last season. Hemmer passed away near the end of that season, may he rest in peace, and what a stupid idea that was, but we do have Carol Kane. I do hope we see some sort of aftermath during this season, seeing how Uhura might interact with a new Chief Engineer, Pelia. Could be the place we see that take place in, so cross your fingers.
I found evidence of sabotage.
Speaking of Pelia, we do see her interacting with Uhura in the very next scene of the trailer, with Pelia and a Lathrite accent which is starting to grow on me, saying that she found evidence of sabotage. I wonder what episode this will be and why someone sabotaged the Enterprise or this Starfleet area, who knows. We do see Uhura fighting an engineer in some sort of control room. I don't think it's the main room or off of the main room, it could instead be the nacelle control room or something like that. This could be the saboteur that Uhura is fighting, and he's trying to stop Uhura from either fixing what he sabotaged or investigating him. Who knows? The season seems to promise a lot of Spock and Chapel tension. It was kind of set up last season. They both have feelings for each other, but with Spock it's much harder considering he's already betrothed, and he also finds himself between two worlds, his human side and the Vulcan side. At the end of the trailer, we get a scene of Spock waking up in sickbay without his Vulcan hairstyle and his Vulcan ears. This would definitely be some sort of his human side manifesting itself, whether by alien anomaly or weird illness. We'll have to wait and see. We saw he had a nightmare of this in season 1, showing him with human ears and essentially laughed at by other Vulcans. Obviously, without them laughing, he even had to fight his Vulcan self in that nightmare. It's quite brutal, really. This episode might have more inner conflict with Spock, but with Ethan Peck's performance already as Spock, especially in the season 2's premiere episode, it's going to be good and we're in safe hands. We do see Pike and a security team in Tatzel gear make their way down to a planet at night time with flaming trolleys for some reason. Supermarket sweep gone wrong? This is similar to the episode Memento Mori in season 1 of a colony attacked by the Gorn. Very similar environment, sort of reminds me of the Borg random attacks in season 1 of Next Gen. Now Pike in his Tatzel gear is seen in the trailer when he's in the captain's chair, and there's a lot of turbulence on the bridge. This could be when some Gorn ships were attacking the Enterprise and Pike is being back from the surface. Also, I can sort of make out Sam Kirk in the background here. We have seen him in another trailer, still pretty cool. Now this does seem to be the colony we've seen in earlier trailers, with a scene from the trailer showing that it looks to be a Gorn child patrolling the playground of a colony. The away team looks to have Pike, La'an and Sam Kirk in it. We have seen some shots in the earlier trailers and this trailer of a Gorn mothership appearing in atmosphere over this colony. Captain Patella, the USS Cayuga, is on this planet when this seemingly attack happens. Hopefully nothing bad will happen to her, though if it does, it will make it personal for Pike, who might violate orders to go to the colony and the planet and try and save her. I bet this is what happens. If the USS Cayuga is in orbit of this planet when the Gorn mothership attacks, it is likely the ship will not fare well. We have seen a fair few shots of a Constitution-class starship being destroyed above a planet, with Spock in an EVA suit and another who could be Chapel. In this trailer, we see Spock on the outside hull of a ship and an alien appears behind him. Very much like Alien, the movie and series and stuff like that. I don't think there's one coming soon. But you get the gist, very xenomorph in a way, it's freaky. This is like an adult Gorn in an EVA suit. We can see that it has an interesting plating or what looks to be a mechanical tail. It looks like you can also just make out the face, which does look very reptilian. What's interesting about this design is one of the concept artists for season 1 of Strange New Worlds did do designs of reimagined adult Gorn. A couple of designs have mechanical tails integrated into their armour, so these designs could be used for season 2. We put these on screen right now, they look pretty fearsome. Later in the trailer, we do see Spock in an EVA suit coming from the Enterprise through a debris field, which is probably going to be the remains of the Cayuga. We'll see later in this trailer the Gorn mothership and some of the smaller attacking ships firing on a Constitution-looking ship. Whether this is the Cayuga or the Enterprise is not known yet. There look to be some debris around the Gorn mothership already, maybe it could be another ship, maybe a transport ship, we just can't tell, maybe you can make it out. For a while now, we have gotten footage of Uhura and Kirk interacting in season 2 of Strange New Worlds. We've seen them drinking in a new bar on the ship, but this trailer shows that Kirk actually consoles Uhura. This might be after the incident of Uhura witnessing the shuttle crash that claimed her parents. She says she's never been able to face death. Kirk responds by saying, "You can let death win or you can fight back." And you think about it, this means a lot from Kirk, who as a kid survived a mass murder on Tarsus 4 when Governor Kodos ordered the execution of half of the population. Kirk would also, fairly recently in 2257, be witness to the Dacarium cloud creature killing over 200 people on board a Farragut. Kirk is probably the best person to be talking about how to overcome the fear of death. Bit grim. They make it on well, but there was also a clip of Kirk holding a phaser with one hand and a communicator in the other while seemingly using Uhura as a shield. Could the imposter be a shapeshifter, taking the form of other Starfleet officers on the ship? Or could Kirk be doing some sort of move to get the advantage over someone? Who knows? While Kirk is talking about death, we see La'an looking pretty bad, lying on a bed and almost emulating of her hand crying. She is next to Dr. M'Benga, and M'Benga seems to be mimicking wiping a tear off his face. It's all that signature thing that both La'an and Dr. M'Benga do to each other throughout Strange New Worlds. La'an is the least safe person in the crew of the Enterprise at the moment. We don't know whether she's alive or where she is during the events of the original series, but she isn't on the Enterprise. Could La'an die this season? It's also interesting as the outfits and the architecture behind them. It looks to be Rigel 7, so perhaps La'an got pretty badly injured by one of the warriors. Who knows? We know we had to be returned to Rigel 7 since last Star Trek Day, where we got a scene from the episode of Ortigas getting ready for an away mission to Rigel 7.
Kalar warriors are fierce, but trust the three of us to handle it.
Doctors love been tasked for a mission because of their combat skills.
Pike even refers to warriors as Kalar warriors, which are the warriors Pike fought in the cage and lost 3 crew members to. They seem to be standing outside a gate which has a Starfleet delta on it, so perhaps some sort of cultural contamination has happened on the planet. This will probably tie into Pike's last mission here. Perhaps some of the crew that were killed could not recover their bodies. These Kalar warriors all seem to be holding phaser rifles, so if they manage to figure them out from Pike's crew they killed, Starfleet might send Pike back to somehow fix the natural cultural development of the planet, which nearly caused Captain Pike to retire. That's a story you should look up, by the way, very interesting. There's also a great scene where Dr. M'Benga even says doctors love being tasked on mission because of their combat skills, but we do learn that M'Benga is a good fighter. La'an also fights some Kalar warriors, but this looks to be more sparring than training, considering the laid-back nature of the people around them. We do see something blow up in front of the Enterprise. I do not have any idea what this could be. It looks like some sort of central pillar with some sort of mesh or shielding around it, like an umbrella in space. Look, it's the best I could come up with, okay? I would love to throw us more about what it is, but we have nothing to go on from this. Maybe it's the Gorn ship. Maybe the Gorn have got big umbrellas. It could be raining. Now we do see a Type F shuttle flying over some ruins towards an anomaly, or technically it's probably the Stamets shuttle as we've not got the Type F just yet. Now I have no idea what episode this could be, whether it be the reason for the Temporal episode of La'an and Kirk back in the past, or anything like that.
This is the golden age of exploration.
Obviously we've known for a long time that we will be getting the Strange New Worlds and Lower Decks crossover episodes in Season 2 of this series. We've got some looks at the episode of Jack Quaid and Tawny Newsom reprising their roles in live action as Bradford Boimler and Beckett Mariner. Hearing Boimler wax poetically about what it means to be in Starfleet in the 23rd century is just great, and I can't wait to see this episode in full. It seems that Una and Pelia will have a heart-to-heart moment in the shuttle bay. This is interesting as Pelia's been alive for a long time. She would have lived through the Eugenics Wars and World War III, so she might have some exciting things to say and maybe build Star Trek lore? Who knows? And talking about being in the past, we have a shot of La'an and Kirk seemingly teleported to the past. They were holding onto some sort of device which has brought them to the past in this scenario. Whether they are fighting in the device or is their intention to come to the past is not known. Maybe they was escaping from somewhere. We do know that this seems to be another alternate timeline. You can see that Kirk is wearing a different style of Starfleet badge. In a recent interview with Paul Wesley, who plays Captain Kirk or Lieutenant Kirk, they showed a scene where this is apparently another timeline, as he's shown in command of the Enterprise nearly a decade too early. For some reason, La'an is the only one who notices, kind of a yesterday's Enterprise feel with some sort of time travel thrown in. The second season of Strange New Worlds has started, and obviously you can see it on Paramount+. New episodes are dropping weekly on Thursdays. These episodes are dropping simultaneously in many regions, no more waiting 24 hours if you're in Europe, for example. Finally! If you want to know what we thought of the premiere episode of Season 2, then make sure to check out our review here on Trek Central. But what are you most looking forward to in Season 2 of Strange New Worlds? The Gorn rising from the borders, Temporal hijinks with Lieutenant or Captain Kirk, or just seeing our lovable lower deckers in live action? Let us know in the comments. As always, if you're talking Trek, we want to hear about it. Don't forget, if you want to keep up to date on the latest Star Trek news, lore and more, make sure to hit that subscribe button to never miss a video from the team here at Trek Central. You can also follow us on social media or join our community Discord server. For now, I've been Captain Jack, thank you very much for watching, we'll see you tomorrow for Strange New Worlds Season 2, Episode 2. Live long and prosper, my friends, goodbye.